Doctors on the panel, and Dr. Devi Shetty, he's the chairman of Narayana Institute. And Dr. Devi Shetty, you've looked at these models very, very closely. You worked with the state of Karnataka. You've given them a study. I want to ask you, because these numbers are important on two counts. Count number one, of course, we need to know the spread in order to ready our health facilities. But count number two is also important, which is we need to plan our economic activity based on what kind of spread of this pandemic is going to be seen in India. And as Dr. Anand Ranganathan has said, is it that the numbers are really low at this point in time compared to the other states, or is it that many Indians have contracted this disease and probably become immune to it without ever having gone in for testing, because we have antibodies and immunities within us based on our climatic conditions, based on the fact that we have BCG vaccinations, and based on the fact that we are a TB malaria positive country, and therefore we have some amount of immunity against this virus.
See, my suggestion is that we should assume that the virus will behave exactly how it behaved in Italy, in England, and in US. I don't like to quote China because I'm not sure about the data. And we should also assume that the reaction of patients to the virus is exactly like how it was in Italy and US and England. By doing this, we will be prepared for the worst. And if the best thing happens, like Indians immunologically more immune, and a BCG protects us, summer heat protects us, if it happens, it's very, very good. But good thing in India is at least some states are at a very early stage of spread. Like a state of Karnataka, we haven't reached that level of very, very high number of COVID patients, not based on the number of tests we have done. We have friends running hospitals in different parts of the state, and we constantly interact. Right now, there aren't that many patients in the hospitals who are suffering from pneumonia and advanced complications. So all I'm trying to say is that if we can do tests, whether it's an antibody test or RT-PCR, it doesn't matter. Whatever tests you want to do, we should do it as soon as possible in as many numbers as possible. Because what is important now is to change our definition of a hotspot. Instead of saying one particular part of the city is hotspot, we should say that the house where the person is living is the hotspot, and track the family members and their primary and secondary contacts, and try to isolate them or quarantine them or whatever is required. By doing this, I feel it will be more feasible, because number hasn't reached huge epidemic proportion, at least in some of the states or most of the states. The Maharashtra and Delhi, I agree, because Delhi, you see large number, whatever reason it happened. So my suggestion is to assume that we still have a window of opportunities to do large number of tests and change the definition of a hotspot. See, how long we can go for a lockdown. Like lockdown was important when a patient from foreign countries came to India and spread the infection. Now we have enough patients in our own country to spread the infection. But we don't know who they are, and the patient themselves don't know they are the carriers. So that is one observation. But most important observation I have is our preparedness. We need to prepare when a patient develops serious complication of COVID, how we are going to manage. Fortunately, unlike in the Western countries, we have adequate number of beds, at least to manage the first phase of increase in the numbers in India. But these numbers of beds are not really yet ready for treating COVID patients. 30-bed, 50-bed hospitals will find it very difficult to manage COVID patients. We need to identify a hospital like medical college hospitals where there are large number of young residents who are very skilled and they are in large numbers, because you see the most of the private hospitals have only consultants. They don't have a junior level doctors who are trained to intubate, who are trained to manage ICU. Fortunately, our country is blessed with over 500 medical colleges, and they have a huge infrastructure. They have 500, 800,000 beds, and they are very well staffed, not because of the COVID, because of the medical council regulations. They also have a large nursing schools, paramedic schools. There are enough young people. COVID battle cannot be won by senior doctors. It can only be won by young doctors with skills, because doctors of my age, we
Point
are
that you
highly
make,
vulnerable.
but